You're about to watch me read A Galaxy of Whales by Heather Fawcett. Heather Fawcett is the author of the Emily Wilde series, which is like one of my absolute favorites. I love it so much. I love her writing. I love the worlds that she creates. And this is her kind of young readers book. So she doesn't write just for adults. She writes literally for everybody. And I saw the cover and I was like, I need to get this book. I don't care that it's like targeted for like 12-year-olds, like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, like those are for 12-year-olds as well, and they're all stellar. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I really hope that the whales do fly because like that's so adorable. So from my understanding, A Galaxy of Whales follows two characters. Our main character named Fern, and she is going to enter this photo contest so she can kind of win some prize money, but then her neighbor slash nemesis is also entering the photo contest, and obviously there's like, oh yeah, like rivals, all that good stuff. But she's also trying to win back her friendship with her like former best friend. They seem to have drifted apart, and for whatever reason she thinks winning this photo contest may kind of like redeem their friendship. So I expect this book to be very cozy. I expect it to be heartwarming and cute and just like a fun time. So yeah, without further ado, let's read Heather Fawcett's newest book. Oh, but wait, we know the drill. We have to take the dust cover off because this is a hardcover book. And as much as I love this beautiful cover, I can't stand the way that these things like shift and move when I'm trying to read. So if there's a whale underneath the cover, I might scream because I love whales. Ooh, I see that it's purple, matches my shirt. No, it's just blank, but that's okay. I was hoping that there was gonna be like some like silver kind of like whale artwork on here, but that's okay. Oh, I think it's almost the exact shade as my shirt. I love this. Is like one of my favorite shades of purple. Purple being my favorite color. So yeah, let's read this book for real. I'm now more than halfway, as well as over 100 pages into A Galaxy of Whales, and here are my thoughts so far. This is a really cute, wholesome, and fun read. Obviously, it is targeted for 12-year-olds, so it's got that cute little like vibe to it, which I think is so impressive because when I'm reading Heather Fawcett's Emily Wilde Encyclopedia of Fairies, the writing is different because of the audience it's targeted for, and a lot of the times, like in the writing world, this is something that's really hard, understanding tone and understanding your audience. So sometimes people find it easier to just write for one audience with one particular tone. So being an author who can understand different types of tone, different audiences, and being able to adapt to that is super impressive and super amazing, and Heather Fawcett does a beautiful job in this book. I also really love the puns in this book. So the story is following Fern, and she's an 11-year-old girl who is, right now it's the summertime, and she's helping her mom with the whale watching business. And this is a business that's been in the family for like generations. It's called Worth Whale Tours, and then their rivals are Whale of Fortune. This is where Jasper comes in. So Jasper is basically Fern's rival, and he's her rival because his parents own the Whales of Fortune kind of whale watching business. So it's like both of them are kind of competing against each other. And the whale watching one, like the newer one, they have like espresso machines, they have like a really big luxury kind of boat, and so they're getting a lot of customers. With our main characters, they have a smaller boat, but they've been around for a really long time. They're like the oldest there, but people are kind of going more towards the newer kind of like more modern one. And so obviously this creates like a bit of rivalry, but the rivalry is like be as polite as possible and try to out polite your competition. So their neighbors are like, oh yeah, so I made you a cake, and it's like, oh well, I made you a cake, and like it's like ridiculous, and it's pretty fun. And so there's this photography contest that's going on, and so Fern really loves photography. Her late father was like a really well-known photographer. His pictures were in the magazine, like front page kind of stuff, and he taught her a bunch of stuff about photography before he unfortunately passed away a year prior in the book. And so she enters this contest because she's had a falling out, well, not like a falling out because she doesn't know what happened, but her friendship, like her best friend Ivy, who lives just across the street, has started hanging out with these kind of like mean girls. And so Fern is like trying to figure out like, what did she do wrong? Like, why is her friend pushing her away? She doesn't understand. And so she thinks that if she's able to get her photo of this whale that she wants to take a picture of on the front of the magazine, then maybe her friend will come back to her. And so that's kind of like her motivation. And she also tried inviting her friend to do it with her, but her friend kind of like forgot about it. And so yeah, Jasper, who's her rival, is also doing the photography contest. He's actually the one who told her about it, and so he wants to do it. He hasn't told her why. I know why, but I'm not going to say because that will spoil it if you're reading, but he has a reason about why he wants to do it. And obviously there's money involved. You get like $4,000 or $5,000 if you win, and so he wants the money for a secret reason. And Fern, she doesn't really care about the money too much, but she knows that it would help like her mom, so she's happy with that. But what she cares about is the front page. And so some events ensue, and Jasper and Fern actually end up teaming up to take photos, and they're working on their essay together because you have to send an essay in as well as the photos. And so they really want to get pictures of the orcas because they're endangered. That also gives you a bit of like bonus points in this contest. And there's like a pod of them that's kind of around the area that has been really hard to spot. And then they know that one of the whales is pregnant, and that's really exciting because when they get like the baby whales, that's going to help increase the whale population. And so yeah, they're basically teaming up now, and so it's fun to see them just interact because they were rivals for the sake of being rivals, but now they actually get to know each other and they have shared interest. And like the grandpa is like taking them out on the boat in the middle of the night to get some pictures, learn about the stars. Like, it's cute, cozy vibes, and I'm really liking it. So yeah, I'm going to continue to read A Galaxy of Whales, and I'll probably update you when I finish this book, and so we'll have my final thoughts then. So I will see you in my next update. Yesterday I finished Heather Fawcett's A Galaxy of Whales, and this was such a cute little cozy summertime read that even though it's targeted for like 12-year-olds, I think that anybody who picks it up would honestly really enjoy it. I think that it was really cool that it followed along 11-year-old Fern as she's kind of navigating people growing up. So she and her friend are starting to drift away, and she doesn't understand what's happening, and she's kind of like looking at it as like there's two Ivies. There's one who was before like 5th grade and then the one who is like after 5th grade. And so she kind of sees them as two different Ivies in a way, because this is the one that she grew up with, but because people are maturing and growing up and trying to figure out like who are they, what do they care about, what do they want their life to look at, the main character is trying to like tackle this and figure out like what's going on. She's also making new friends along the way as well. Like she and Jasper, they were like enemies, and then she finally was like, you know what, like now that I'm actually talking to him instead of seeing him as like a rival or anything, he's actually a pretty cool guy. So I think there are some really good messages throughout the book, and just it's very slice of life. Like, it's also kind of nostalgic because like as somebody who's obviously not 11 years old, I can remember when I was 11 years old, and I can remember as I was growing up, and I was like maybe I used to really love something, and I was just like, I don't care about this. And you had those friends, and you didn't really have like you just didn't mesh with certain people anymore as you were kind of like figuring out who you want to be. And so this book made me feel a little bit nostalgic, but also I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy I'm not like a teenager anymore, because like being a teenager is like the weirdest time ever, I swear. I also love the educational aspect of this book because this is loosely based on a true story of what did happen to an orca and her like baby. And so this was based on that, and it also kind of touches on whale watching and how do you properly whale watch, what are the effects of incorrectly doing it. So we got a really good kind of like story from the grandpa in this book talking about how before they realized that bringing the boats up real close damaged the hearing of the whales, and they couldn't figure out like where their other like friends or children were because the sound of the boats was just too distressing for the whales. Or also chasing the whales, like, scared them so much. And like, he talked about how he really regrets that, and he didn't understand, like, people at the time didn't know that you had to take certain precautions. And so I thought that was really good, because it kind of showed what whale watching used to be versus how do you whale watch in a respectful way, and what are like the actual pros and cons of that. And one of the pros being that this is helping scientists. So people who are whale watching, they're observing the whales, and if the whales need any help, they can kind of alert people and help protect them and save them because they are endangered. And so I really loved the message. I just love orcas or killer whales so much. As a kid, I swear I had like over 100 different stuffed animals of orcas, and I've seen them live as well, which as a kid I was like, oh yeah, it's so cool, I'm gonna go to SeaWorld. But now as like an adult, I'm like, yeah, it's not a nice place for orcas, but I have seen them. So yeah, this book was a super light, summery, cute little read. It does make me wonder, that scene with the bear, like, you don't actually know like if that was her imagination or if that actually happened, and if there was like some magical possum. That was kind of like left unanswered, but I think there was a magical possum. I want to believe that there's a magical possum, so I'm going to believe that there's a magical possum. But yeah, this book was really fun. It was really, really heartwarming and great for all ages. So I will be awarding A Galaxy of Whales a total of 4 stars. I thought that it was really well written. I liked the characters. I felt there were really good messages in there. I think it's really great to see an author who is so diverse and can speak to different audiences and write for them so everybody can enjoy her content and her books. And it was really good. So if you have any siblings or any children who are, I don't know, probably 7 or older, Galaxy of Whales is great. I think really anybody 7 or older, if you're like 100 years old, I think you'd like this book as well. It was really cute and really charming. So the next book that I'll be reading is The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. Now look at this cover. It's gorgeous. It's basically about this like book of doors that I think can time travel kind of aspects, and like the main character works at, I think it was a library, bookstore sort of thing, and she talks to all her customers, and there's this one really old guy who chats her up all the time, and they have really great conversations. And when he passes away, he ends up given her this book of doors, and there's people who really want this book of doors. So yeah, I'm really excited to read it. I think it's absolutely beautiful looking, and yeah, so that's what I'll be reading next. So if you're interested in watching me read the Book of Doors, Heather Fawcett books, Emily Henry books, Brandon Sanderson books, Allie Hazelwood books, so many different types of books, definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification. That way you get notified anytime a new video comes out. If you enjoyed this video and you love orcas as well and think that they're beautiful and you really care about them, and it's really sad that they're endangered and I want them to be around forever, definitely hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!